today's tip is probably something you should never do. Otherwise, that master craftsman down the street, he'll probably yell at you. The safety police on YouTube, they will most definitely write in all caps. And the government, well, they won't really care. But sometimes you just gotta get it done. So a very common bowl gouge grind is where you have the nose at about 55-60 degrees, and then you sweep the wings back a little bit. This kind of grind works really well in green bowls because you can get nice long ribbons out of it and gets a lot of work done fast. But it's also kind of a all-purpose kind of grind for dry bowl, shaping, finishing, all that kind of stuff, because you can use the wings and all this kind of other stuff. It's just a jack-of-all-trades kind of grinding. But the more you grind on it, the more you sharpen it, if you're like me, things kind of go out of whack. Over time, I like to grind out this heel a little bit to round it off so I can turn interior corners kind of bit. And sometimes I might roll it over a little bit more so my wings come back a lot farther. And then all of a sudden, you got these rounding sides coming out like that. And then maybe for some reason, you got one side that's straight and the other side that's curved. And it would be nice to be able to hit the reset button. And that's what I'm going to show you today. Now, it's pretty common for us turners to use these kind of friable style grinding wheels. They're fairly inexpensive and they work really well and give you a good finish. But the thing about this design is it's designed to work off the front. They tell you if you put lateral or sideways pressure on them, they could explode. So it's very dangerous to do that one. But you got a nice flat surface on the side. Now, as you can see, my gouge has kind of gotten way swept back, and it's a little straight grind, and I actually like to have a slight curve on there because I think it makes it a little bit more flexible. But both sides are not equal, and I get little high spots in there, and I'm not quite happy with the nose of it right now. It's a little bit steep for my taste. So a good place to start is to reset your face, your grinding angle. And if you could just turn your grinder on and very lightly touch it, it will somewhat give you some guides to follow to even everything out. So here we go. And you want to focus and just lightly touch it, but you want to make sure that this right here is horizontal, and that will allow you to even out both sides. I'm not putting very much pressure on, but you notice now I have a nice fingernail shape to follow. So now I just need to sharpen this gouge until that shiny spot disappears, and I will have a very nice shape to work with. Now, I'm partial to the Wolverine setup from One Way just because it's inexpensive, it's easy to learn to do, and it's very repeatable. You buy the Wolverine setup, and I'm using this vari-grind jig, and it is their last generation vari-grind jig. Their new ones, I haven't used it yet, but I look at it and it seems to lock things in a little bit more. I basically keep one of these things set up for my bowl gouges and another one set up for my spindle gouges. You can see they're quite a bit different. But I basically found a grind I liked and I never really touched it after that. So all I need to do is grind on it until my shiny spots disappear and I know it'll be sharp. Now with high-speed steel, a slight bluing or purpling or color change isn't that big a deal. It's kind of what these things are designed for. But you don't want to get too extreme. Just let it cool down every now and then. But I want you to notice, I'm trying to get the light to reflect. I'm almost at the point where it's sharp, where the flats are gone away. I'm trying to get that light. Okay, you see how you see the light reflecting off the edge? How you can also tell when you're getting close is if you watch the sparks. Because that's a little ledge right there for them to go on, and the sparks kind of hit it and go around. See that little flat right there? So when it hits it, it kind of stops and gets a little brightness right there. When you see that kind of blockage of the sparks passing over this thing right here stop, you know you're right at your sharp edge. So kind of see if you can see that right on the top. So if you see on this wing, I've got just an ever so slight flat there. So this thing will not cut yet because it's not quite sharp. And if you see that little glint of light, what's going to happen is the sparks are going to be generated and they're kind of going to roll around off that edge. They're not just going to fly down the flute, just a little bit. So it'll be a little bit brighter spark right at the edge, and then you come over. And when you see that blockage of the sparks going over the edge, you know, see it's just kind of stops right at the edge, but all of a sudden, right when you get sharp, they just kind of fly off of it. See? I've got a nice edge right there, and they were just flying off. So watch your sparks when you're doing this, and I'll tell you when you get to that sharpness level. So there we go. My gouge is now reset to factory grind, or my factory grind, with the way I prefer. Didn't take too much time, and I will probably resharpen this for another 2 or 3 months before I reset the grind again. Since today was a turning tip day, for the bonus I thought I wanted to talk about Carl Jacobson. Yeah. He's the biggest wood turning YouTuber out there. You've seen all his stuff, cool projects, yeah. But did you know he runs a Twitch channel where on a weekly basis he spends about an hour and a half, and he turns a project live. And generally it's a project he just did in his video so that people can ask him questions on how it's doing. And his wife kind of moderates it, and he has other people that are moderating it, so they keep it really clean, PG-13 family friendly, but it's a fun group of people that meet together on a weekly basis for a live stream. And that's what Twitch is. It was kind of developed for gamers so that people could watch people video gaming. Snoozer. But he's taken it over, and he's taken the concept and he's using it for wood turning. Check it out. Subscribe to Twitch. It's free, and you can subscribe to Carl, and it will send you a little text whenever he comes on and he's doing a live feed. Check it out. It's kind of fun.